Turn up your radio.
Right now.
Guess who?
Nobody got nothing on us.
You're locked in to the greatest station in the Mix Radio.
Check your systems are offline.
Hello and welcome. You've crash landed on planet Ava here on In the Mix Radio. I'm Ava Perrine, and with me today is my ever-ready co-host.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Khamare Shields, a.k.a. The Total Package. That might be the first time you're hearing this name, I promise. It will not be the last.
Khamare, here we are. The semester is
chugging right along.
Yes, it is. We're almost to
left.
the end of it. Yep. And we've got the fam with us today.
Yes, we do. Can everyone please introduce themselves?
Hey, y'all. You probably already know me. I'm Raymer Castillo, a.k.a. Ray the Reporter.
Wow, Ray, you sound a little bit down today.
Nah, I'm not down. You know. It's early in the morning.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Is it? Yes, I think it is. It might just be early in the morning.
Oh, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
It happens to us. And also we have...
Hey, I will do a little Khamare for you. Hey, this is Dr. Tully here. I'm the director of the music industry program, and this is not going to be the last time you ever hear about me.
You know what? I want you to keep that. I want you to use that from now on.
He low-key cooked you, though.
I'm not even mad at him.
He cooked you.
Well, especially for a musical theater guy and all that, a composer of note, distinguished professor. Thank you very much, David Tully.
Yes.
Composer of notes, also a hard name as well.
Oh, I like that.
Composer of note.
Well, yeah, composer of note. That was a nice little pun, wasn't it?
That's,
You're not too asleep then there, Ray.
I'm not too
By the way,
I'm
Ray
fine.
said it's real early. It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
That's real early.
Ask him what time
You're
you
on
went to
campus.
sleep last night.
What
Ask
time
what
you go
time
to
I went
sleep?
at night? 3.
Really?
Well, everybody here does.
That's when I went to bed.
Yeah.
See, look, come on.
And night before last, I guess, was Wednesday, Thursday. 4 a.m. was my time. Getting prepped for classes and all of that. So
Just
I
the
get
mass
it,
comm life, you know.
Mass comm is what we do, and we are perky. Even at 10, the early 10 a.m.
Early.
Mass comm and visual performing arts, which is the reason why we're here today.
Yep.
So Dr. Tully recently came back from sabbatical because he worked on an off-Broadway production known as Mr. Puppy, which he composed all the music for. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, that's sir.
So how was that with the production for that? Did you get the turnout you guys were expecting for the play?
Yeah, we were at the AMT Theater right on 45th Street, right next to the theater that had Moulin Rouge, that won 10 Tonys. Bigger theater than ours, but we were right next to it. And it was packed every night. And it ran for a couple weeks, 6 days a week, and with matinees. And we were really surprised that we had a lot of grandmothers and, bringing their grandchildren. It's my only show that I've written for younger audiences. In fact, they don't call it children's theater anymore. They call it Theater for Young Audiences, TYA. And so a lot of parents and grandparents were there, but they kind of liked it more than some of the kids.
Well, that happens sometimes, doesn't it? They have a little bit, maybe more of an appreciation for, and maybe if there are some jokes, maybe the younger persons don't quite get yet because, of course, it was written by an adult kind of thing. So that was last summer, correct?
Yeah.
The opening for Mr. Puppy.
Right.
And then so since then, you have decided to adapt it for the DSU crowd. And so that's coming up. Tell us about that.
So they decided, I'm the faculty advisor for Hornets on Stage, which is their theater group. And they didn't have a show to do. And so I said, well, what do you guys want to do? And this semester, since we didn't do one last year due to budgets. So they said, can we do Puppy? I said, well, if you want to. So that's what they've been rehearsing.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing about Hornets on Stage is being the current theater group is actually a group I was a part of previously when Dr. Tully and I were working together when we were doing Romeo and Juliet, right before the director at the time, may she rest in peace, Dr. Shirley Brown, when she was the head of the theater department, we were doing a lot of stuff together, and then COVID happened, and so we had to reposition how we were doing the show. So it transitioned from being on stage show to us trying to do a movie. We still have all the original audios and stuff, correct?
Yeah. I mean, Khamare, you were awesome, an actor. And your host over here, Ava Perrine, she was an incredible nurse.
Yes, she was.
She had the second most number of lines in that script, Shakespeare's script, is her, and she knew them all.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting as we've been talking about the different things that we've gotten involved with on campus. And I've been in a considerable number of productions off and on in little parts here and there and all of that. And I have to actually thank, maybe thank is not exactly the word, Khamare, because he was one of the handful of students who actually got me involved in that. And so remind me how that came about, Khamare.
So what had happened was when we were trying to figure out the different dynamics of who was going to help produce it with Dr. Tolly, it was myself, it was Jordan Smith, it was Raven Quander, and it was Ibube Maduka. We were basically the new set of directors working with Dr. Brown, Dr. Tolly, so we could try and gather everyone so we could still put it on the way we wanted to.
Right.
And we needed a new part for the nurse because the original person who did it, Leah, had just previously graduated and time and schedule wasn't allowing her to come back and do it with us. So we were thinking, okay, who could play the nurse? Specifically because of the energy we wanted. And it ended up becoming where, oh, Miss Perrine could do it. This is perfect for her. It matches her type of energy. So, and then you kind of told it the best on the previous show. Once we told Dr. Tolly that, he reached out to you. And then after getting you like 3 times, once he confirmed, okay, you're really going to do it, then you realized we had to learn it in Elizabethan English and then try and walk the scene out. And so
I was mad then. I was like,
she was not fond of us too much.
I can imagine.
But then it culminated in there was a full day. We got to shoot a ballroom scene in the Schwartz Theater that is downtown, which DSU acquired from the Wesley acquisition, now being downtown DSU.
Right.
And I remember that day. It was a while because it was a night scene.
Right.
And we had to set up the lights and everyone had to be in costume. And I don't think we were mic'd up. We were using mostly boom mics. But the dance choreography was coordinated by Raven and everyone was just working in a dynamic. And that was a big one. And then we did the 2 major fight scenes here right outside the EH building, which those were fun days shooting. So I miss it.
Well, speaking of in costume, we really should thank again. What's the professor's name who's in charge of that? I put you on the spot, didn't I? And myself,
from the fashion department?
Yeah. And she's wonderful. And we just want to say at least thank you again to them because those costumes were fabulous.
Yes.
They managed to pull those together. The students who were sewing and carrying on like mad and fitting us all and so forth. So that was really very cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, she's at a different school now, but I didn't even know we had a fashion department, and quite honestly, and because we were going to do this on stage, and then we go, well, let's do it as a movie, and then we just went with whatever was happening. Yeah. And so I said, well, where are we going to get costumes? And then I found out that we had a department. Yeah. And whenever I met her, and we talked on the phone a lot. She's a sweetheart, and she has a super long name, so begins with a D. I know that. Anyway, she even did a couple all-nighters for us. She finished some of the costumes. They finished every single costume.
Yes, they did.
For that show. So I really got to commend them.
And everybody was fitted to the nines.
Yeah.
I knew how much that work took.
There are a lot of different programs that are a part of our university that they don't get any love. Kind of deal, and sometimes the students say, oh, I didn't know we had that. And fashion comes under actually the College of Ag Technology, and what is that, Sciences? Oh, goodness.
Might be because of the thing they had yesterday.
Agriculture, Sciences, and Technology, right? And so Dr. Sharice Winstead is the dean of that college. So shout out to Dr. Winstead and company because they are some kind of awesome.
We also want to shout out Dr. Mike Casson as well because they are always connected.
Well, they're husband and wife. I call them the power couple. You didn't know that? Oh, bless you. So, yeah, Sharice is, of course, Dr. Casson. But when she first, was in the department teaching chemistry and so forth, she was Winstead before they got married. And so she's kept that as, professionally. So, yeah, shout out to the power couple on campus.
Ouch.
Awesome.
Well, since we're talking about it loosely, she did speak yesterday at the beginning of the AI summit that both...
Well, they were hosting it. Yep,
yes, that you, myself, and Ray got to attend, at least for the beginning part of the day.
Yeah.
So, Ray, what did you think about the summit for what you were able to pay attention to?
I thought it was a lot interesting. I loved how academic it was. I love any academic event like that where you just talk about advancements in technology and stuff. And I appreciate a lot of the acknowledgement of AI and its flaws, acknowledging the hallucinating and stuff like that. I appreciate that they're honest and straightforward. Hey, we know it's an issue, but we have ways working around it. And I also like seeing all the students come up in all their little projects and stuff like that. There's one group who had this 3D printing company and this whole plan set out, and it was very impressive to see actually. And how do you plan to implement AI into it? Because there's this judge panel, and they judge all the AI pitches and stuff. It's actually really interesting,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So was that your first sort of real informational
conference almost?
opportunity with AI
I think,
and so forth?
On a very random note, though, at the back of the conference, they had something called DSU juice. And I just thought that was kind of funny.
That was because of the catering, yeah.
DSU juice.
Yeah, it's not an alcoholic drink, because remember, there were kids there.
Yeah.
But no, they'll sometimes come up with some fun name for some of the array spread, which shout out to Sodexo for, being the university's vendor for that.
And that was wonderful. I mean, when I came through,
that's
Sodexo magic. Yeah.
Well, Matt, I had AI juice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They should have had AI juice, bro. I would have been great.
I'm crying.
I would have drank ChatGPT juice, bro.
Well, I tell you what, I was only able to be there. Yesterday was kind of busy. Every day seems like it's busy now. But I had to sit in on a senior capstone, and then I had classes, but I was able to pop in for maybe 20 minutes or so in the morning, and Khamare and Cousin Ray saved me a seat. And one of the things that I've been hyped about it ever since, and I was telling my classes, because, we talk about AI, and maybe Chat GPT, but really, what is all of that, and people, it's so terrible, it's going to take all the jobs. And then the woman who was the speaker, the presenter, she was fabulous. And so I would love to have her on our show if we can get a hold of her via Zoom or something.
That would be Bethany Nonami, aka Auntie AI.
She's super fabulous. And when she told her story, her background and everything. But one of the things I really loved that was my key takeaway was that there are so many types of AI platforms, and that you can use them. They each have sort of a specialty that you can use, and then you can use them sort of as a AI salad. This thing will chat with this thing, and this thing is a specialty, and you can use this thing to help get this stuff done. And I was okay, now I understand. Now, quite naturally, not being a seriously techie person in my head, but I grasped the concept, and I'm really hyped about it. And speaking of which, the night before, our fabulous Public Relations Student Society of America, PRSSA chapter, was being honored upstate, along with the University of Delaware PRSSA chapter, these graduating seniors. And so the PRSA, Lord have mercy, the Public Relations Society of America, right? So they were hosting it, and they've been pulling the two groups together. So I went up to Middletown and was sitting there, I was being participatory, but not, because it was oh my goodness, I got to get home pretty soon. I only had a little time. But one of the things happened is I met a woman who, and the names, this is terrible not having people's names in front of me. But anyway, the woman who is the director of communications with Widener University. And she was saying that Widener now has a major. They're doing an AI major and an AI minor. already, and they're whipping that into shape to start in the fall. And so I suggested to her, I said, let's talk, because although this isn't really my lane, it would be great if DSU could do some sort of a collaboration with them, since I know we're not getting ready to have an AI anything at this moment kind of deal, but it would be kind of cool if we could connect and some of our students could take some of their classes or something, or at least be aware that these are resources.
Absolutely. So let's actually backpedal a little bit, because the week prior, we also had a very busy week for those of us here of the station. Midway point. So if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Planet AVEC here on In the Mix Radio with Professor Perrine, myself, Dr. David Tolley, and Ray the reporter. So the week prior, thanks to not only Miss Alicia Parker, Dr. Lori Crawford, and everyone, we got the chance to go see The Wiz at the National Theater in DC.
Yay.
And that was a fun experience that we all got to go see. Doc, was this the first time you were able to see The Wiz, or was this your first time seeing this company perform it?
Oh yeah, it's the first time I've seen this traveling Broadway company do it. But we actually did The Wiz here at DSU.
Really?
Yeah, quite a few years ago.
All right. So what was your favorite part of the production that we saw the other day?
That's a great question. I think the two ladies, you would know. I mentioned that to you. They were awesome voices, incredible voices, and I mean, they just filled the house when they sang.
You mean the ones who played Glinda and Eveline?
There you go,
yes.
Right there. See,
They were some powerhouse voices.
They sang the paint off the walls.
But the costumes were really good.
Costumes were great.
The choreography was really inventive, like how they did Yellow Brick Road
as the drum majors. Yes,
that was great. That's what I love about music theater. It's telling a story.
Right.
I always love stories, but think about it. They're using all the arts to tell the story.
Yes.
That's why I love music theater.
Yeah, I know the other thing that you and our Miss DESU Radio, Karen Malty, was really loving, because where our seats were, some would consider them the nosebleeds, but it was really good for us because we could look down.
I loved it.
We could look down straight into the music pit. And I know y'all were talking back and forth about that, where you're able to see their kind of orchestral arrangements for that. But the funny thing is, where Nathan, myself, and Zaire Woods, aka Fly Guy Zai, were sitting, we were able actually to peek onto the adjacent pier, and we could see the person kind of running some of like the lights and the slideshow elements of it. And we're all like, that's actually really cool. But it's likely we know that, because if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't have seen it. Miss Perrine, what was one of your favorite parts of the production?
I'm not quite sure I had a favorite, but well, and let me back that up. One of my favorites was when I realized that the dancers were the Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah,
that was because I was sitting over there kind of by myself. I felt like I was like, everybody else was over there, and there I was, and so I really had all I could do was focus, right, and have everybody.
You had radio station fam Jamie Comer over there with you though.
They weren't talking to me though.
Cold.
They were into their own little world of, because they were dancing along with it and directing and everything and so forth. And I think the young lady who was sitting next to me didn't know me at all, kind of deal. I wasn't mad, I'm just sitting there.
How could she not know you? Like, you're famous, right? Aren't you famous? How would she not know you?
I doubt that.
No. What do you mean? You are famous.
Oh, bless you are.
Yes, you are.
Oh. Well, anyway, so when I figured out that the dancers were, I said, oh my God, they're the Yellow Brick Road. Because I was a little disappointed. I was like, so I'm thinking, when you're going to a production, right? And you have your in your mind a set of how they're going to do it. How are they going to depict the Yellow Brick Road? Because when I saw on the stage, it wasn't painted or anything like that. And then when I was looking at their costumes, and they came out a couple times, and I said, oh my God, they're the Yellow Brick Road. Ingenious. So I think that was really my fave. I also liked the way they depicted the tornado.
I was just going to say
the dancers for the tornado. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That was the second best dance sequence in the show. The best one to me was when you enter Oz and the multiple musical genres they did before we meet the wizard. I'm like, I really like everything they did there.
Yeah. It was highly creative. I did have one little little critique, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure that it was just because I didn't know what I was looking at or hearing, but the audio was a little bit when those really strong singers were hitting those high notes. It kind of like hurt my ears a little bit, and I thought to myself, I didn't know what they could have done differently, but that was the one thing that I sort of like would have dinged them on.
That happens a lot with traveling shows, because the engineer, a lot of times, he does a great job, but he doesn't really know the theater. Sometimes he might crank it a little bit more than what the house should really be at. But I still thought they did a great job.
Not to mention the fact that with a lot of singers who tend to belt out, your voice will hit a certain frequency, which for some people is fine, but for certain people who are sensitive to certain noises, it will kind of be jarring and things like that. It's something that Dr. Tolley tries to make sure with like mixing and mastering, which he talks about. It's something you want to be very, very technical on, so that way the whole sound is as complete as you can have it.
Well, I guess that sort of takes us back to old school stagecraft, though, because back in the day when I was learning theater and so forth, I had a New York trained a woman who had been a New York trained actress as my drama teacher in high school, and Polly Brule did not play. She was like, we didn't do microphones and all of that. You had to be able to project your voice to the back of the theater so that no matter who it was, they could really hear you. You had to enunciate and all of that. And of course, now we've incorporated modern day technology because, sometimes people's voices are not of what is it? What's the range when I'm talking about? Not
like very boisterous.
Exactly.
Some people are very softer and speak, and you have to teach them diaphragm, project out, and they need to hear you 3 buildings over.
Right, so now we have the technology to assist with that. So I guess now that we've got to deal with that mix, it is something different.
Yeah, speaking of being in the mix, it is about that time of the show where we do everyone's favorite segment, What's in Your Headphones, aka Playlist of the Week. Yay. So starting off, we want to give a shout out to the captain of the ship for both In the Mix Radio and the R Report magazine, Mr. Patrick Gloucester. And also a quick shout out to Commissioner Smack, the Indie Plug, because without her the show would not be named. All right, so the way this works is we ask all our guests who come on what's in their headphones, whether it be musical, regular music, lo-fi, or even documentaries. We want to know what's playing. So, Dr. Tolley, what's in your headphones right now?
Nothing.
You know what?
We're in his headphones. You realize that?
Yeah, you're in my headphones, but you'd be amazed. I do music so much that when I travel long distance, I love silence.
Yeah,
because actually, it's that silence. Mozart said that was the best part of music, between the notes.
So when you do listen,
what
do you like to listen to when you're trying to relax or you're trying to get inspired? What is that?
Most recently, it's really hard to nail me down because I like any jazz. I love classical. I love hip hop, dance music.
No, what are you listening to? Who have you listened to recently that you kind of like? Specific.
Oh wow. Hans Zimmer.
Okay.
As far
Hans
as
Zimmer.
Orchestral scores.
Okay.
I don't know Hans Zimmer. Tell us something about him.
You would know Hans Zimmer.
You
probably listen to.
He's done a ton of scores. I mean, and Gladiator, Driving Miss Daisy. Driving Miss Daisy is what put him on the map.
Really?
Yeah, because basically he's from Germany and he's incredibly gifted. I mean, he wasn't like a schooled musician that had degrees and all this stuff, but he has a great ear and he had a certain kind of sound. And he has he was introducing tech along with traditional orchestral stuff. And, a lot of the directors and producers really in LA really caught on to that. And boy, he's done a ton of films.
Nice. Did you ever have a chance to meet him by any chance?
I didn't meet him. I met a lot of the people that work with him. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did like the Tenet soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I think he did.
Tenet was great. I love the soundtrack for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you mentioned about like the silence thing, actually reminds me one of my favorite Frank Ocean songs off of Blonde, the final song, Future Free. One of the best moments of it is like in between two like the verses, there's just silence. It's like 4 minutes of complete silence. It's like one of the best parts of the whole album, actually. But yeah, speaking of which, I've been listening to a lot of older Frank Ocean, of course, because I've been planning to do like a documentary series on Blonde itself and like the history of it and like what the songs that mean. Besides that, though, of course, I've been listening to a lot of the Spider-Verse soundtrack because there's been some like new stuff, information about Beyond the Spider-Verse came out. So I want to listen up on it. I like. Not a lot of people give credit to the soundtrack. Those ones have like incredible soundtracks.
They do,
especially like the first one. The first one's like the most like late 2010s. Like it has Juice WRLD. That it's like late 2010 soundtrack ever. I think it's perfect for the period of time it came out in.
Yeah. So just so you know, as a group, we are taking a trip when it drops next summer. We're gonna go see that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
everybody has to see that. If you're a human being, you have to see that.
So it's a movie called Beyond the Spider-Verse. It is the third one in the Miles Morales Spider-Man trilogy that Sony's been putting out for the last couple of years.
Right.
It is a staple of animation, so you would really enjoy it.
Oh, it's animated.
Yes.
Okay.
They did a lot of work there where on top of the regular CGI models, they made it where it looks like direct comic panels because of the animation technique they did. Well, I could talk days about
actually, it. I feel like it's not just like a staple of animation. I feel like it's kind of like a staple of like Gen Z culture. Like if you want to understand Gen Z, I kind of think you need to watch those films.
I would just say,
but you know what?
I would say that. I actually, it's kind of like Back to the Future for like boomers. It's like Back to the Future was in the 90s, where it's like in the 80s, but it's like where this film is such like a cultural staple. That, like if you want to understand a generation, you have to watch that. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? You saying it that way, I will give you that. I will definitely give it to you that way.
Yeah. I feel like every generation kind of had that. Like, you have like a staple film where like that film defines the whole generation. That's just me. That's just me.
I'd like to agree with that. But in any case, one of the things I do like is that, Ray, you're a little bit of a sleeper in that you're sitting here, we're talking, and you had to wake up a little bit and all of that. And then suddenly we're talking about the music and you totally evolved. You just
I listen to a lot of music.
You came out. Hey. And the way you expressed it as well. So there's definitely some deep thinking up in there. Bless you. Cut Ray.
I hope there is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, I've been around you now for a good year, pretty much. But still, it's always a pleasant thing when people that when you get to see another side of them.
Yeah, it's something it's like pleasant just to let it out. It's like not like that, but to express. Those
absolutely.
Well.
Absolutely.
What have you been listening to though?
Well, I tell you what. This morning, for example, I was listening to Ray Charles, and so the whole.
Whoa!
That's what I said. No, they were big supporters. Right. And so the nighttime is the right time, and I will tell you the reason that I went there is that. I guess we've all been talking about family and so forth, and I got to reminiscing the other day about sitting in my grandmother's kitchen. That's sitting when my dad would cook. I'd be in the kitchen with him, and he was teaching me to be his little prep cook. What do you call him?
Sous chef.
Sous chef. And so I was the onion peeler and chopper and all of that good stuff. And then with my grandmother, who was his mom, I would sit in the kitchen with her, endless hours, and we would chit chat while she was cooking. And but my grandmother would also, she played cards too, and so they get to slamming cards, playing whist, and the Ray Charles.
Oh, at least it wasn't spades.
That would be no, they didn't do spades. That wasn't until way later, kind of deal. But Ray Charles would be on invariably, and that would be one of the big time jams. And so it just it made me gravitate toward that this week, and indeed on my way to campus today.
Gotcha.
And oh, by the way, I did find the card for my good friend, my new good friend at Widener University. Her name is Mary Allen, and she's the executive director of communications at Widener. So I'm gonna be checking out Mary. Yeah. Hey, girl,
good deal.
We definitely have to tap in with her later.
Yep. So Khamare.
Before I get to my playlist, I do want to actually give a compliment to Ray because the other night, for one of our people for Third Eye Eye View. Paige went on and did the showcase with the K-pop dance group here, DSU, known as Red Cat.
Nice.
So when we finished up, we wanted to take her out to dinner, as well as Jonah Clark, who officially just got sworn in as part of the drum line for the Approaching Storm.
Oh, nice.
So shout out to them.
Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite. Shout out.
Oh,
that's the nickname they gave him there. So when we went out, Ray brought somebody with him, and we were all like, "Who did you bring with him?" And he's like, "Oh, that's my brother." And when I say his brother, you're going to love him because we're going to have an episode with him on. He lit up with the conversation because I'm actually just talking to him, just, you know, hey, new person,
right?
I gotta be the adult in the room.
Family,
let's see how this goes. And the way he was talking about what he's passionate about, but also the way he was talking up his brother, I'm like, no, this dude is perfect. They did even over the weekend. Ray, why don't you talk about what y'all did real quick?
All right, I didn't know I was gonna talk about it because, you know.
So shout out your brother, right quick.
Shout out Victor, Big Vic, you know, my brother. You know,
Big Vic. All right now.
Hey, off the top of the dome, you know. But yeah, me and him actually went to like a car show with one of our favorite automotive journalists. He was there as well, and we recorded some content. We took the mics out. You know, I borrowed the mics from Khamare. Shout out Khamare, the GOAT. We took the mics out. You know, we recorded some content, and while a lot of it kind of got lost, like corruption, stuff like that, you know, didn't go out perfectly. But the stuff we did get was actually really good. I actually had him do a couple like hosting bits, have him do like little interviews and stuff.
Nice.
He was great at it. He was like, you know, he was ready for the job essentially. It felt like he was born for it. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that kind of showed me like, hey, this guy could actually do a lot of great, you know, interviewing stuff. You know, a lot of mass comm stuff. I think it would be great around here. And yeah, we've been talking about him doing a podcast as well. With me and him doing a podcast with like RCR, which is like he's my like I can't say mentor. Like he's my influence. He's like he got me into like journalism. Like Mr. Regular, yeah. He's up in PA. He does like automotive reviews and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I talked to him personally about getting him on a pod. He's really chill about it. He's like driving down here and stuff. Like he's really enthusiastic about it. I'm really really excited about that. You know, getting a podcast with the man that, you know, started my whole career. You know,
I love that.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be here. You know.
Oh wow, that's touching.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
nice, fam.
But yeah, it was a good weekend.
Oh, super duper.
Yeah, so I know we're almost over time, so I'm going to be quick with my list. Playlist-wise, I've been listening to Joyner Lucas because he recently dropped the deluxe album of his ADHD 2 project. That was really good. But one of the things I have been listening to on repeat is our alum Matt Ruggiero, who recently put out his Burn the Bookmark EP.
Nice.
I'm actually trying to see if he can come on and do a proper interview for Planet Ava, because he's one of my friends I've had growing up, where I shout him out all the time, along with like Eli J, Kenny Avenue, Vintage, just because they're my friends. And my job as a radio personality, I'm going to put you out in the ether. I'm going to make sure you get put on, so that when we have time, hey, they can come through and give us the same love.
Right.
But with that said, we are currently all out of time for this episode.
Nate,
We do want to give a shout out to our guy in the chair, Mr. Nathan Going, aka Detox Melody. He has it sounding nice and all right today on this very, very warm April
Because
day.
Nathan's getting ready to walk.
Yeah, Nathan's about to graduate. Yep. But we are all out of time. But this has always been a great conversation.
Yep.
But as always, Tax, where can people find you? Where can people tap in with you?
They can probably find me in my office or the studio, DSU, and I'm there a lot. So I was there till 3 a.m. last night. So basically in the EH.
I also just quickly want to give a little bit more of an acknowledgement of our good friend and colleague and mentor and all of that, Dr. David Tolley. He is a Grammy nominee. He's a composer of note worldwide. So we're sitting here in the presence of greatness. I know he's pretty much a modest fellow, but David Tolley is on point. So just wanted to say that.
Sweet.
He's the doc for a reason.
Yep.
Right?
Like usual, you can find me at Ray_Dreams on Instagram, posting car content and stuff like that. But recently, you can find me actually at Ray Khamare on Substack, posting some articles on there, some little pieces and stuff, you know, for like digestible reading, you know. a little short stuff. But yeah.
great.
That, and did one of your articles get published for the R report that's about to come out?
Of course.
about to come out.
Yeah. Check me out on the R report for I think in May it's coming out. Yeah, around here. I actually just got sent the article itself. Looks great. Turned out great.
Nice.
Love it. The interview I did, the wonderful lady. She this whole thing. I don't want to spoil it. Just read the article. Just read the article. Okay.
There we go.
Look out for the R report in your local Books A Million.
All right. You can find me at GamerGod514 at Instagram. I'll be updating all my stuff later on to match my Total Package branding. You can follow my production page at Total Package Entertainment on Instagram and Facebook. For Professor Perrine, you can find her at Ava0821 on Instagram, Planet Ava on Facebook, Reckless Abandon Productions on Instagram. All stuff will be updated later to be Reckless Abandon across the board. We're also working on a LinkedIn page for her, so that way y'all can tap in and see what we're working on for that. But with that said, once again, thank you to Nathan Going, our guy in the chair. Thank you, Dr. Tolley. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ms. Perrine, for having us on.
As always.
And thanks, everyone, just for hanging out with us today.
Follow me on Instagram at Ava0821.
Are you an entertainer?
Do you want to come on the show?
Do you have something special that you do?
Email me at planetava@gmail.com.
Now check out Planet Ava every Sunday, live at 5 p.m. and reruns on Monday and Tuesday at 3 p.m., Wednesday and Friday at 1 p.m., Thursday at 4 p.m., and Saturdays at 8 a.m.
Here on In the Mix Radio.
with Live 365.
I'm Ava Perrine.
I'm Khamare Shields, the Total Package. Bye for now.
It's the #1 station blazing the airwaves.
Right here, so keep it locked.
This is In the Mix Radio.